Okay, so what's up guys, my name is Max Santia. I'm here with Go and Thrive, and I'm here to talk to you about the 10 concepts of selling by Jordan Belfort. And if you guys don't know who Jordan Belfort is, you should know him as the Wolf of Wallstreet, and if you still don't know him, you should watch that movie. So Jordan Belfort is one of the people who got to a multi-million stage in his life where he got so much money just through stocks, but he didn't really sell stocks. He sold his vision of buying the stock and what the stock can do for you. So you always have to look at it in a point of perspective of the customer. Jordan didn't really sell the stock to him, he sold a vision to him, right? You always want to sell a vision to your customers, not exactly the product itself. So what I mean by that, if I had this fitness product right here and I said, here's this fitness product, you should try it, the majority of you probably won't buy it. Now if I was a more buff guy and I had muscles and this, right, I would sell you this product and say, do you want to look like me? Do you want to have this? Do you want to have that? This can give you this much results in this amount of time. That type of stuff usually serves as a sense of credibility where people really see the results right there, so they're more intrigued in buying it. You see, you're building a sense of you're building a sense of credibility, and when people see that like credibility right in there, or if it's like a chart or something like that, they're going to be more intrigued and they're going to believe it a little bit more, rather than just saying this can do this for you, or just buy this and because it looks cool. You know, people don't buy a product because it looks cool. People don't buy Apple stock just because it looks cool. People buy Apple stock because they realize what happens if the market goes up. Then they could have some money coming. I don't really know how the stock market works, but I imagine it works something like that. So during the first 4 seconds, this is one of Jordan's rules in the psychology of sales and how to get more sales. So during the first 4 seconds of a meeting or call, you always want to show your enthusiasm and your expertise and your intellect towards the person you're pitching. So in the first 4 seconds, you want to say something like, hey, my name's Max, and not really like that, but hey, my name's Max, I'm a fitness expert, I know this and this, and I have this amazing product, and I'm sure that this can benefit you in a great way. And if you give me it really depends on what you're selling, and you really want to practice that out and, you know, go to competitors and see how they do it and learn from them. You know, when you have that line in the first 4 seconds where you could truly captivate your clients or prospects' attention, and you could really turn that into a place where you can convert them from just somebody who's never heard of you to a sale, then you're crafting the art of sales. So you always want to make sure that during the first 4 seconds of your pitch or your sale or your call or your meeting, captivate them with enthusiasm, intellect, and expertise. Okay, so moving on, we have keep the customer intrigued and spark interest. So you never want to bore the customer and tell them, a bunch of facts on what the product's about and this and that. You want to tell them that what it can do for them. People want to hear what the product can do for them, what the benefits of it are, not how cool it is, right? We don't buy Apple just because it's a phone. We buy it because it gives us a lot of things, right? It gives us a lot of apps to do. It gives us calls, cameras. It gives us this. It gives us so much. And Apple really marketed it in a way so that it shows the amount of beneficial assets that it can bring to you. So you always want to craft that part in the sale where you want to talk about the benefits that the product or service can do to you. So make sure you sell a benefit rather than the product itself, all right? Show some interest, show some spark the interest and that, okay? Number 3, you have to understand that people don't buy logic, they buy emotions. So you have to make them feel emotional about the product. You want to make sure that it's a passion, that they really need to have it, and if they don't have it, something's going to happen. I don't know. Not something's going to happen, but it's like, damn, I should have bought it in or something like that. You want to build an emotional state of mind where the person you're pitching the product or service to wants to buy it. They feel motivated, right? So you could, let's just say for example, a fitness info product. It teaches you how to do abs correctly. It teaches you what you need to eat properly, the amount of miles you need to run every day, cardio. It teaches you that. And you want to pitch it to the person saying, this can truly change your life, because if you stay consistent for 30 days, I guarantee, and let's say this person is overweighted, and you want to tell them that I guarantee you if you just follow these simple steps for the first 30 days, I guarantee you're going to see a difference. And you want to make them feel like damn, I really should buy this product. Like damn, like this could make a difference for myself. And when you like get that part into their head where it's like a necessity at that point, where they can actually buy the product for themselves and find some benefit in it, you're crafting the art of sales. So that's something you need to focus on. Sell an emotional part of the sale, all right? So number 5, you need to sell your vision for a more positive future. You have to think long term. So for example, myself, Go and Thrive for you guys would be a long-term goal. So Go and Thrive is an info product. It teaches business literacy, social media marketing, how to make money online, right? So this isn't just some short-term goal where it's just going to be a get-rich-quick scheme, right? It teaches you full entrepreneurial development, that type of stuff, right? And it's not something you're going to craft overnight. You want to make sure that it's a long-term goal so that they see the vision, the future, what this could lead to. So if you have this fitness product and it's a 30-day thing, or it's a monthly thing that you have to consistently buy, and you're an overweighted person, you want to mix the emotion part into it and also sell the vision. So for example, you could say, I got this fitness product over here, right? And it's super great. You follow these simple procedures for 30 days straight and you're gonna see results. I guarantee you if you do this for a year, you're gonna look like this, right? Something like that, right? You wanna make sure that they see the vision of what this info product can do long-term wise, right? You wanna sell a future for them on what this can do for them. You don't want remember, you don't wanna sell a product because nobody's gonna buy a product just for being a product, right? You wanna sell a vision, what this can do for them, the benefit. Remember, it has to be the benefit of what the product can do for you guys. So that's also one of them. Number 6, collect information to understand your client. So this is highly essential. You want to make sure that you know your client more than your client knows themselves. When you can understand what your client is truly looking for, what they need, what they want, where they want it, that type of stuff, you're mastering the craft of sales because you want to understand what your client wants. Nobody cares what you think your client wants, right? You want to make sure that you can understand what the hell your client wants so that you can pitch it to them in a more effective way so that when the need comes, when the time comes, you know that ahead of time you want to be one step ahead of the game and you want to know, okay, so this product came out, here you go, sir. You want to make sure that you can understand what they want. So it could be like a trend. If they're a soccer player, let's say they're a soccer player and you're selling soccer products, you want to be one step ahead of the game. Do they like this team? Do they like this type of stuff? Do they like this amount of this? Do they like this type of cleat? Do they like Nike? Do they like this? That type of stuff. You want to know that so that when the time comes, if there's a grand game coming up, you want to pitch that specific product to them so that they're going to be more likely to buy it because you know that they're going to want it because you know they're part of that team, right? You want to understand that part of the psychological of what your client truly wants, what they truly like, what they truly need, that type of stuff. So always keep that in mind. Know your client more than they know themselves. Moving on, we have explain more than once that the product is stunning. So obviously, yeah, you have to polish the product, make it look good. I have to make it nice, right? So make sure that you can actually portray the product as something intriguing, right? You can't just sell a crap product, right? Let's be real. You're not going to be able to sell something that won't fit in the market and will not do good. You need to make sure that your product is actually market wise and it's going to fit right into the market at the perfect time. Well, maybe not the perfect time, but as long as it's in the market at a good time and it's maybe high in demand or something like that, perfect. You got to make sure, make the product look good, and just that in itself is great. You just got to make it look stunning, to be honest. Just make it to the point where it's something like they see and it makes them like open their eyes and say, what is that? I want to know more about it, that type of stuff. So number 8, competing on price is always a mistake. You never want to overprice something and then tell them that, oh, you're wrong. Like this is the best price you're gonna find it. You never want to do that type of stuff, right? In some cases it does work and it might be effective, but the majority of the time you always have to understand that the customer is always right. So if they feel like it's too overpriced or if it's this and that, you may want to offer them a lower price ticket item, something maybe that, and then maybe you could upsell them with something else that's maybe lower price. But you never want to argue over a price that they think is too pricey and you think is perfect, because nobody's going to win. It's going to go back and forth, and at the end of the day, you could lose that prospect because of the fact that you argued with them too much and you just didn't get that sale. So what you could do is probably pitch them with a lower ticket item that maybe it's like, let's just say I'm selling a treadmill and it's too expensive. Maybe I could say, okay, sir, here are these running weights that you put on your legs and this and that, and I'll give you a package and I'll make sure that it's specifically for you and it'll get to you on this time. So you're selling them something that still has to do with what they want, but at a lower ticket item. So maybe it could be, maybe like running weights or something. I don't really know that industry as well, but when you don't just leave that argument like right there and just leave, right? You just want to make sure that you can make a sale and always have a healthy relationship with your customers. Don't force it into them, right? You don't want to force a product for them to buy. You want to make sure that it's something where you can position yourself so great that you don't even have to sell them at the point, right? You just They just come to you because they know you're the guy and you have the best product, something like that, right? You just want to position yourself as well as possible. Okay, and number 9, practice your opening and make a connection with your customer. Very essential. So practicing your opening is something that Jordan did repetitively, right? He always had the perfect opening to the call, because nowadays you're gonna get a lot of cold calls, and the majority of the time they're not even gonna pick up. They're gonna talk like they're not gonna have that excitement. They're just gonna sound boring. Like, hey, do you want to buy a stock? No, and they're gonna hang up. Like, nobody really buys from that type of stuff. Now, when you pick up the phone, you dial the number and you tell them, hey, I can do this much. This stock can do this for you. It could change your life overnight. If you give me the next 30 seconds to explain, I can do this for you, and I'm guaranteed that your only problem is that you didn't buy more. Something like that. You know, that's Jordan's formula. You know, you gotta make a connection with the customer, and you gotta make sure you're targeting the right people, right? You don't just want to cold call a random number. You want to make sure that you're targeting the correct people who may be interested, or maybe not. Maybe you have a different formula, but the most effective ones are actually the ones that are targeted. So it's like saying, I'm not going to target a golf player for a soccer product, right? You want to target the right people, right? Pick up the phone, call them, and tell them and sell them the vision. Remember, you have to sell them the vision and tell them that this is essential for you to need. It's a must. If you don't buy it, it's like when it gets to the point where, like, damn, I missed out on the sale, or damn, I should have bought it, right? You got to plant that idea in their head so that they feel like the urge and the necessity to actually buy the product. So when you can establish that point, perfect. Like, you're crafting the art of sales once again. So make a connection with the customer as much as possible is also something very important. And you want to make sure that you understand them more than they understand themselves, right? So making a connection with them, you know, understanding them, being relatable to them, you know, oh, I can understand that you're going through this part in your life. Maybe it's something like that. Or maybe, like, times are tough with the economy and you're just at a low point, and I'm sure that you have some money to invest, and I'm sure that if you invested into this type of thing right now, maybe not a guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that it can bounce off in the market, something like that, right? Connect with your customer as much as possible so that they feel like you get them, right? You want to make sure you're not just a sales rep, but more likely that you're like the friend and you get them and you can help them out, right? So you don't always want to just sell them. You want to make sure that you can help them out at the same time. So, and number 10, lastly, is just keep it going, right? You never just want to settle and make a sale and call it a day, right? You always want to keep that momentum going and that snowball effect, right? You never just want to have that ball rolling for like a second. You want to have that ball rolling so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you keep making more sales, more connections, all that. And that's truly, you know, the sense of an entrepreneur that never settles and always keeps going for its full potential. And, you know, that's really what a lot of people value. So when you can craft the art of sales, once again, it's a skill set that not many people have, but they're gonna wish they had it. And, you know, it's hard to develop at first, because, you know, you're probably not gonna get too many sales at the beginning, right? Just because that's, you know, how the game of life works. You're not gonna get a sale overnight, but you could, don't get me wrong, but the majority of the time you have to experiment. And that's kind of what Ty Lopez says, you know, you always have to experiment and osmosis and all that, trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't work. You know, Jordan had maybe a script of lines that probably didn't work at the beginning until he found the one script that truly worked. He called it numerous amount of times. He saw that, okay, 7 out of 10 times worked, and, you know, he kept scaling from there. How can I make it better, right? You always want to self-improve on your tactics, on what works, what doesn't work. Always make sure that you're always improving. Never just settle. Don't stay with the same formula. If it doesn't work, keep moving, experiment new things, right? Because that's exactly how we learn. So I hope you guys learned something. If you guys want to know more, we will be launching our info product October 10th. It's called Go and Thrive. It's going to be talking to a whole bunch of this. My business associate, Jason Cabrera, is going to be going into psychology of sales. So do not miss this out. I guarantee you our product will change your life. If you guys are trying to get into entrepreneurship, do not miss out on this info product, all right? Go and Thrive. Don't sleep on it. October 10th, all right? We will be covering a lot of things, ranging from how to make money online, business literacy, psychology of sales, self-entrepreneurial development, books to read, that type of stuff, so much more. Like, do not sleep on it, all right, guys? I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you did, just let me know down below. And always share and subscribe and like this video. So I hope you guys learned something, and thanks so much.